Welcome, welcome.
The sky had darkened completely. Leo, feeling scared and alone, had taken refuge under a dense bush. Just as he was about to fall asleep from exhaustion, he heard a rustling sound from the bushes nearby. Hello, everyone. You know me by now. I'm Linda, the sweet girl who tells wonderful stories. I continue to share beautiful stories with you because I love you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video. I'm grateful for every bit of support you give. As you heard at the start of our video, the adventure series of Cat Leo continues. Today's story is titled, Cat Leo Gets Lost. I'm starting right away with a fantastic story that you will find both fun and enjoyable. Cat Leo loved exploring the world around him. He lived in a warm house with his human family. While purring in his bed, he couldn't resist the wonderful call from outside. His family wasn't home either. The sound he heard was from the kitten he had rescued from a tree. He quickly went outside but couldn't see the kitten. Maybe he had heard a different sound in his sleep. It was already afternoon. The curiosity to go outside was stirring a storm inside him, but on the other hand, he didn't want to leave the house while his family was not home. He usually didn't go outside when his family was away. This time, Leo couldn't resist his curiosity and let himself out of the house. He ran around the streets for a while, taking in all the sights and smells. Leo's first stop was the usual park he went to, where he sometimes chased butterflies and climbed trees. As soon as he entered the park, he saw a few butterflies flying around. The desire to play took over him instantly, and he started following the butterflies. Leo was letting one butterfly go only to chase another. He hadn't encountered any dogs either. He was having so much fun that he lost track of time. When Leo stopped chasing the butterflies, he looked around bewildered. To his surprise, he had wandered to a corner of the park he had never been to before. The surroundings had become deserted. His little heart started beating fast from fear. As the sun began to set, the light slowly faded away. Leo tried to find his way home but couldn't recognize any tree or path. He had been in tough situations before but had somehow always managed to find his way home. This time, he was caught in the dark. While looking around confused, Leo realized he was lost. He meowed as loud as he could, hoping someone would hear him, but no one did. The thought that his voice might attract dogs, potentially leading to an attack, increased his fear. After a while, accompanied by his fear, exhaustion took over, and Leo lost all hope. The sky had darkened completely. Leo, feeling scared and alone, had taken refuge under a dense bush. Just as he was about to fall asleep from exhaustion, he heard a rustling sound from the bushes nearby. Leo looked carefully towards the source of the sound but couldn't see anything. He hid himself deeper into the bushes, yet the sound continued. Nothing was visible in the darkness. Despite his fear and exhaustion, Leo couldn't suppress his curiosity and, with a burst of courage, darted out of the bush he was hiding in. The sound was coming from a little further ahead. He listened carefully with his furry ears. The sound wasn't of dogs. It was coming from dry leaves. There were footsteps on the leaves. Despite his fear, Leo moved a bit closer to where the sound was coming from. A small light was making its way through the darkness. Cat Leo recognized the sounds as human footsteps and quickly walked towards the source in the darkness. The person kept walking, unaware of Leo's presence. Feeling a bit scared, Leo meowed softly. With his meow, the footsteps and the light stopped. Despite the fear in his heart, Leo remained still, waiting for the approaching light. He immediately recognized the scent of the approaching human with his sharp nose, but he couldn't make out who it was in the darkness. Under the sudden brightness, Leo realized who was coming towards him. It was the elderly woman whose small brown dog he had rescued days before. The elderly woman set aside her lantern, bent down, and gently picked up the familiar cat without scaring it away. Then, picking up the lantern again, she began to walk. Cat Leo now felt safe, nestled in the arms of the woman as they moved along. After walking a bit further, the elderly woman entered a cabin. As soon as she went inside, a dog barked and ran to the woman's feet. The arrival of the dog made Cat Leo climb fearfully up to the woman's shoulders, but she reassured him, telling him there was no need to be afraid. While hanging the lantern on the wall, the elderly woman spoke to the dog roaming around her feet, prompting it to sit aside. Leo was still on the woman's shoulders. She gently took Leo from her shoulders and placed him down. As soon as Cat Leo's paws hit the ground, he arched his back and fluffed up his fur at the dog. But after a moment, he relaxed because the dog in front of him was a small brown dog he had saved from the larger dogs. The dog recognized Cat Leo too. Leo slowly approached the lying dog and touched its fur. The dog touched Leo's fur in return. This dispelled all of Leo's fears. The elderly woman lit the stove and began to prepare food. After a while, both Leo and the small dog had their fill from the cooked meal. With their bellies full, Leo and the small brown dog snuggled up together and fell into a sweet sleep. As the first light of the morning sun came through the window, Leo opened his eyes. He ate a bit more from the leftovers of the night before and then drank some water. The small dog was still sleeping. The elderly woman was also asleep in her bed. Cat Leo squeezed through the small door at the bottom of the door used by the dog to let himself out into the new day's light. Once outside, he looked around. This place was unfamiliar to him. He thought of his home and human family for a moment. Thinking they must be worried about him not coming home at night, he climbed a small hill near the house in hopes of seeing something familiar. From the hill, he saw the usual park he visited. Quietly descending the hill, he headed straight for home. On the way, he reflected on his mistake. He witnessed once again how his curiosity had led him into danger. Yet, he also felt happiness in his heart for heading home. From that day on, Leo became more cautious about his outdoor adventures but never lost his love for exploration and sense of adventure. Our story ends here. Friends, if you're curious about Cat Leo's adventures, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. May you always live in your dreams. Goodbye.